channel. I'm Ankita. In this video, we'll be looking at one of the previous year papers of NTA UGC Net English Literature. So what will happen is कि आपकी knowledge भी बढ़ेगी और आपका revision भी हो जाएगा, okay? And try not to Google them. Just try to think. आपने पढ़ा है अगर, just try to think कि आपको आंसर उसका मालूम है या नहीं है, okay? Just try to think about that. So if you have seen my previous videos, especially on the net paper, you will know that मैंने हर वीडियो में almost previous year papers की importance को emphasize किया है and they are actually very important. So in this particular video today, I thought कि चलिए एक पहले साल का पेपर आपके साथ डिस्कस करते हैं and आपको थोड़ा सा आइडिया भी लगेगा कि किस तरीके के क्वेश्चंस आते हैं and also it will be a kind of revision for you. So without wasting any further time, let's start.
I have not discussed the first 10 questions because they were comprehension questions, so I've really not talked about them. I'll be starting from question number 11 because that's where the other questions start, as in the questions which are not comprehension related questions. This is where it starts, question number 11. So we'll be starting with this, okay? Okay, so the question says, which of the following terms describe a novel of fashionable high life? Fashionable high life in 19th century English literature, okay? This is what it asks. So, जो fashionable novels थे, they were also called silver folk novels and they were a 19th century genre of literature that depicted the lives of the upper class and the aristocracy, okay? They were called silver folk novels. So the correct answer in this is number 4, silver folk. Now, what term did Bertolt Brecht use for his mode of drama writing to distinguish it from traditional theatre? So the options are epic theatre, kitchen sink theatre, musical and proletarian theatre. Now, if you have properly prepared the syllabus, then you will find that this is a very easy question and a straightforward, and this is something that has been asked previously in the exams also, in the past year papers also. So the correct answer to this one is number 1, epic theatre. Now, moving further, which of the following terms is used to describe spurious words which are the result of inadvertent errors made by copyists, printers and editors? So the correct answer to this is ghost words. So a ghost word होता है that a word that has been published in a dictionary or some kind of a similar authoritative work, and it has rarely, like it is rarely used in practice, and previously it in fact had no meaning. So as you know, in fact a ghost word, it is supposed to have originated from an error, like just say for example some kind of a misinterpretation of a word or mispronunciation or misreading or maybe a typo, okay? So it was not actually a word, but due to some error it came out to be a word later. So that's a ghost word. So the answer is ghost word. Moving further, which two of the following are works by I.A. Richards? That's a typo there. It's not words, it's works. So for this particular question, you need to know I.A. Richards' bibliography, and in this sense, the correct answer is 3, as in B and C, which is Science and Poetry and the Philosophy of Rhetoric. Okay. Moving to the next question, we have the function of criticism at the present time. In this particular work, what is proposed by Matthew Arnold as the essence of criticism? Now, this particular work by Matthew Arnold, it's a very important work of his. So, the question is that what Arnold proposes here in this work as the essence of criticism. So, the options in front of you are affirmation, cohesiveness, disinterestedness and judiciousness. So the correct answer here is C, that is disinterestedness. So, in this particular work, Arnold, he sees that it's an indispensable rule of English criticism that a critic has to be disinterested or objective, okay? Which also means that there should be an independence of judgment, all right? So the correct answer is 3, disinterestedness. Next is According to Saussure, again very important, Saussure, this is from lit theory, okay, and Saussure belongs to structuralism. He will come under structuralism. Very important and a very basic question again. Language is an interlocking structure, a system of constant change, a system of science, a self-standing formation. So the answer to this particular question is B. That is A and C options, an interlocking structure and a system of science. So when you are preparing lit theory, this will be the very first thing that you read in structuralism, so sure. And this is like very basic, that something that Saussure proposes here, that language is an interlocking structure and it's a system of science. Because in this particular theory that he gives, he says that each element of a language is defined by its difference from other elements within the same language. And then he went on to give that concept of the signifier and the signified, which are two parts of a sign. And so this is, again, as I said, is a basic of structuralism. Next, what was the center set up for studying culture at the University of Birmingham called? Again, the answer to this is A, Center for Contemporary Cultural Studies. It was a research center at the University of Birmingham, as it says in the question also, in England, and it was founded in 1964 by Stuart Hall and Richard Hoggart. Richard Hoggart was its first director, and this center, it was very important. It played a critical role in the development of the field of cultural studies. Okay, so the correct answer to this particular one is A, Center for Contemporary Cultural Studies. Next, which of the following statements are true of English as used in India? These are the options, okay. So answer here is A, that is 1, which is A and B. That is, India is counted among the largest English-speaking communities in the world, and English is the country's principal language of commerce. I think this is something that living in India we should know, and also the fact being that India is counted amongst the largest English speaking communities in the world, it comes as no surprise, because with the population of almost 1.2 billion, about to be 1.3 billion, and even if a percentage of our company speaks English, that means that it's quite a huge number. All right. In fact, in this particular question, what one could have also done is that we could have worked the strategy of elimination, right? So, for example, E, with the growing stature of English as lingua franca, it has supplanted English as the link language between the central government and the states. And we know that this is not true. So, this is eliminated. In KBC, we do 50-50, we eliminate the options. Similarly here. So, in E is eliminated. Now, we are doubtful about D, let's say. Then we come to C. More than 50% of Indians speak fluently. We know for a fact that this is not true. Again, eliminated. Now, we could have come at the answers, these options, and then we would know that yes, this D fact is true. Now, what we could have done was, we could have seen कि D किन दो options में आता है. तो एक 1 में आता है और एक 4 में आता है. अब 4 वाले में D और E दोनों आते हैं, और E हमने eliminate कर दिया. तो we are left with option number 1, which has A and D, and therefore number 1 is the correct answer. ठीक है? Moving to the next question, match the list. So now we are given a list of poems here in list 1, and we are given the name of the poet. Now the road not taken, again very simple, very famous, Robert Frost. Tonight I can write the saddest lines. This is like one of my favorite poems by Pablo Neruda, because I'm into quotes and everything, so I have heard this. Again, the next one being, again, now let's say I'm confused between C and D. So what we can do is that I know for a fact that A is Robert Frost. A is 2. Now I have to see that A is 2 is only in this particular option. बाकी किसी option में A 2 के साथ matched नहीं है ना? तो for that means that this is the correct answer. 2. Okay. So 19th question का correct answer is 2. Next question. Usage in you have hissed the mixed tree lectures is an example of. Now अब यहाँ पर देखोगे अगर आप तो hissed एंड मिस्ट्री। यहाँ पर ये जो M है और ये जो S है ये ना इंटरचेंज हो गए हैं, ये H आना चाहिए था यहाँ पर और ये M आना चाहिए था यहाँ पर, दैट इज यू हैव मिस्ड द हिस्ट्री लेक्चर्स। तो दिस इज व्हाट इज स्पूनरिज्म। ओके, स्पूनरिज्म में यही होता है कि जो दो वर्ड्स होते हैं वो हम उनको ऐसे गलती से, मतलब ये बोलते बोलते मिस्टेक हो जाता है। सो दिस इज व्हाट कम्स अंडर स्पूनरिज्म। नाउ द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, who is the creator of the character Julian Sorel? Okay, so this is a famous character and it's the creation by Stendhal, and he is the protagonist of Stendhal's Red and Black, sometimes also called Scarlet and the Black, because red and scarlet are one and the same thing. So also called Scarlet and the Black or Red and the Black, a very very famous novel by Stendhal, and Julian Sorel is the protagonist of this particular work. Again, these authors that are given to you here, first of all, this is Balzac, not Barzac. तो ये सारे authors, they are very famous authors. जो European literature है उसके बहुत famous authors हैं ये, and these are the names that you must know, you definitely must know. और Red and Black तो एक classic work है Stendhal का, उनका main work है. So this is something that you should definitely prepare. Next, moving to the question, arrange the following in their chronological order. Now this particular question, this belongs to the history of English language in India, that how English came to be introduced in India, and this particular question belongs to that category. And again, this is something which is a basic of your net preparation. You see, actually the construction of the old fort, it started in Calcutta in 1698, and this Fort William, it was completed in 1706, and it was named Fort William in honor of the King of England. Now after that, you know, in 1792 Charles Grant wrote the very important observations on the state of society among the Asiatic subjects of Great Britain, and in this particular tract what Grant wrote was that India can be advanced socially and morally only if the Christian missionaries are allowed into India. And this view that Christian missionaries coming into India, to why would they come to India? To propagate Christianity. And this was a view that was opposed to the view that East India Company held for so long, that if missionaries come to India, that would be in conflict with the commercial interests, and therefore that should be prohibited. But I'm not going to go much into the history here because that will make the video very long. So actually in 1813, it was in 1813 that Charles Grant, he arrived in India. Then after that, the Persian language was replaced by the English language in India in 1832. Okay, so the fort's construction started in 1698. Then arrival of Charles Grant in India in 1813. English replaces Persian language in India in 1832. And the last one is that universities were established in Calcutta, Bombay and Madras in 1857. Okay, so the correct answer here is 3. Which of the following qualify for the label cultural intermediary in the context of a commercial film? Now for this particular question, you need to understand what cultural intermediary is. Now this is defined by Pierre Bourdieu, and according to him, cultural intermediaries are taste makers. See, सबसे पहले understand the word intermediary. Intermediary क्या होता है कि बिचौलिया, है ना, कि जो दोनों के बीच में connecting link form करता हो. A और C के बीच में जो B है वो connecting link जो form करता है, it's like the intermediary. तो जो ये cultural intermediaries होते हैं ना, what they do is that they mediate between production and consumption, और उनका जो ये function होता है वो largely pedagogic होता है, and they shape the preferences and the perceptions of consumers ताकि वो mobilize कर सके उनको और जो उनके desired routes हैं उनको. And going by this definition, we can see कि cultural intermediary as in कि जो फिल्म कंपनीज हैं, कमर्शियल फिल्म जो होती है या जो फिल्म कंपनीज है या फिल्म, और उस चेन में एंड में कौन आएगा? जो कंज्यूमर्स है, जो ऑडियंस है. तो उनके बीच में इंटरमीडियरीज का फंक्शन कौन प्ले करता है? जो फिल्म मैगजीन कॉलमनिस्ट्स हैं वो एक, तो कि वो लोगों की ओपिनियन एक तरीके से मोल्ड कर सकते हैं, बना सकते हैं कि अगर हम कोई मूवी देखने जाते हैं तो वी डू रीड अबाउट द रिव्यूज फर्स्ट कि इस मूवी को कैसा रिव्यू मिला है, इफ इट हैज बीन रिसीव्ड वेल बाय दिस पर्टिकुलर क्रिटिक और नॉट. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल राजीव मसंद और अनुपमा चोपड़ा, दीज आर लाइक द वेरी वेरी फेमस नेम्स व्हेन इट कम्स to movie business and in terms of film critics. Okay, so these are the cultural intermediaries. One, and then director, he cannot be an intermediary. Producer, he cannot be an intermediary. Fan clubs, yes, they can be the intermediaries. So again, A and C, these are the two right options. So that means number one is the correct answer, right? Coming to the next question. Given below are two statements, all research being original and uninspired, it is rare for a researcher to begin a project by deriving ideas from predecessors. Statement 2. Studying and documenting past work on a research topic stifles the continual expansion of human knowledge. Now, first of all तो सी के you really think कि सारी रिसर्च ओरिजिनल होती है और अनइंस्पायर्ड होती है, एंड दैट के बहुत रेयर इंस्टेंसेस होते हैं दैट अ रिसर्चर कोई प्रोजेक्ट को स्टार्ट करता है बिना कोई आइडियाज डिराइव किए उसके predecessor से, as in जो उससे पहले आए थे उनसे. You really think that this statement is true? I have not even gone to the options right now. ये we know that this is a false statement, right? Now, look at the statement 2. Studying and documenting past work on a research topic, it stifles the continual expansion of human knowledge. क्या कभी भी अगर हम past work को study करते हैं और उसको document करते हैं, this is something जो research का basic होता है. जब हम किसी भी topic पे research start करते हैं तो that is what we do, कि हमें देखना होता है कि हमसे पहले जो आए हैं उन्होंने उस टॉपिक पर क्या क्या बोला है, क्या बात की है. So this does not stifle the research, okay? This does not stifle the expansion of human knowledge. तो ये statement भी गलत है, and we therefore can safely say that both statement 1 and 2 are incorrect, and therefore answer 2. Okay. Now moving on to the last question for this particular video. Which of these are true of Raymond Williams' Culture and Society? नाउ अगेन कल्चरल स्टडीज की जब हम बात करते हैं तो उसमें रेमंड विलियम्स का कल्चर एंड सोसाइटी एक सेमिनल वर्क माना जाता है, एंड दिस इज समथिंग दैट वन शुड डेफिनेटली नो अबाउट व्हेन दे आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर द पेपर. सो if you have even the basic knowledge about culture and society, you would know कि विलियम्स वहाँ पर critique करते हैं the idea of high culture, वो overlook definitely नहीं करते हैं, तो B is eliminated for sure, and therefore 3 and 4 जो options है वो वैसे eliminate हो जाते हैं क्योंकि वहाँ पर B आता है. Okay, and now we definitely know कि A बिल्कुल correct answer है, तो we are left with 1 and 2. Now we have to see whether C और D में से कौन सा correct है. It defines culture as a way of life and it equates culture with science. It does not equate culture with science. वहाँ पर जो विलियम्स हैं वो define करते हैं culture को, that culture is a way of life. Okay, so A and C, that means number 1. This particular number 1 here is the correct answer. Now I would like to end this particular video here today because if I go on, this will be a very long video and I do not want that. And इसके आगे के questions I'll be taking up in the next video. If you have any doubts whatsoever or any suggestions for that matter, please feel free to comment in the comment section below. And also if you like the video, then please like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you so much.